we have our personal brands. So we try to, in terms of kind of marketing or something like that, we're just sharing what we do on a daily basis and what we like. Our co-founder, for example, he has its own newsletter. It's called News from Woods, where every month he gather a lot of news from technological world and everything around it. But we're like, it's about word of mouth. Our customers are sending, good reviews, and from our point, it's like talking about what we like and what we do.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Grow IT podcast. Your host here, Alessandro Cutri, joined today by none other than Rob Balusik. We'll be diving into his story, what they're doing over at Good Sailors. It's something that you guys definitely want to hear. They got a very interesting mission statement that I don't think I've come across yet. So I'm excited to be able to dive into this, hear a little bit more about your story as well, Rob, and some insights that you've got just from your career itself. So without further ado, I'll kind of just pass on over to you, Rob, if you don't mind just introducing yourself and tell a little bit about your background and really what led you to Good Sailors, because I know we were just talking about it. I think it'd be great for the audience to hear that.
Of course, yeah. Hey, everybody. It's really nice to be here with you. And again, I'm Rob Balusik, and about my background, it started like for me, it was tough start because I was born with this disease. It's just like physical disease, but consequences are that I cannot, put on my clothes, even tie my laces. So I need really the person to help me. So I was like, from the first, like when I was in a kindergarten, I was like, okay, what I can do, without using, my hands or without sports. And so, like this. So I started to do artistic performance, and it brought me like in front of the president of the Slovak Republic with the performances. But then I started this little company on high school with my friend Oliver. So we were like basically teaching each other new trends and so on and so on. So technology stick with me, and that's the thing, or that's the time when I started to work with the Good Sailors, because they are matching these special talented disabled tech people with other companies, and creating technology. So that's why I joined forces.
Yeah, and I love your guys' tagline, right? You said turning disabilities into superheroes, or what is it exactly?
Oh, thank you. Turning disabilities or handicaps into superpowers.
Into superpowers.
Because, yeah,
Yeah.
superpowers.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. And so why don't you go ahead and, it's such a fascinating story, man. And I love that, kind of where you guys have, the mission that you guys are looking to build with Good Sailor. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about kind of, what you guys are doing specifically when it comes to technology and, that value proposition?
Of course, of course. So our company started as a classic software house, which more than 20 years ago focused on the development of custom applications for various companies. But then about 10 years ago, we started employing people with various disabilities. We combined classic business with the aim of helping, which proved to be beneficial not only for us, but also for a wider society. We have received a lot of international awards from Google, Financial Times, Forbes. Also, our co-founder was 2 times finalist EY Entrepreneur of the Year. And thanks to these awards, we were able to establish cooperations with important companies, which further strengthened our position on the market. And this is our unique philosophy that handicaps can become superpowers. For example, we employ people with autism, obsessive compulsive disorder, whose skills and attention to details it's really big advantage for our customers from areas such as energy, logistics, security, game testing, and so on.
Yeah, it's fascinating, right? Because it's so true, right? I mean, you look at even one of the greatest entrepreneurs that we have, Elon Musk, right?
Oh
He
yeah.
is, he's diagnosed with some form of autism, right? And
Mm.
there is obviously the superpower with the disability as well, right? Some people obviously like having that mindset shift. I think is super powerful and impactful, and you really are changing lives with that, right? Itself, and so it's interesting, and if you can, I don't know if you can go into details with any type of success story, but as you were saying, even with
Mhm.
one of those energy companies that you guys are working with and type of work that you guys are doing, I think that'd be
Mhm.
cool to kind of share with the audience to show them the type of caliber that you guys are working on.
Yeah, yeah, I would love to. You know, it was like the biggest energy supplier company in Czech Republic. They're also a global player.
Yeah.
It's company RWE, and they needed this special software for storaging, also selling energy, and it was so difficult to create because that there were a lot of mathematics formulas needed, also a lot of IT solutions that were really tough to create, and three
Mhm.
companies before us have failed. And why it was like why we succeed, because we have this colleague with autism, and okay, we were like, yeah, Yuji, would you like to try this? Because we knew that he's great at this stuff. So he was like, wow, finally nice things to do, and interesting. And he was like, okay, funny thing. And he really did it. So we basically created two crucial systems for them. And it's
Yeah.
first, it's like auction system. You have to, you know, it's in the gas storages are basically old mines, and you have the gas in it, but you have to calculate all gas leaks and capacity and all this. It's like living organism in this auction system, because it's highly regulated with European legislation and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So we were creating this, and the second crucial system was nomination system. So basically, when an energy supplier comes to us, he put the nomination that he would like to take out some amount of energy. We have to have this agreement real time with other entities, in that it's like pipeline operators, market operators, and also gas storage operators. So this is the second crucial system, but we wouldn't be able to do this without our colleague with a special talent with the autism. So this is our
Yeah.
kind of success story, I guess.
Yeah. It's so neat too, right? Because you're obviously playing with one of the biggest, like players within Czechoslovakia, and also one of the biggest in the globe as well. So it's very
Mm,
interesting stuff that you guys are doing over there.
thank you.
We have a lot of founders and CEOs that tune in, and we're always talking on this podcast about marketing and business development, and what's working in that sense. And one of our core philosophies that we always talk about over here is how important relationship building is within the sales and marketing process. But I'm curious to hear from your perspective, like what have been some things that you guys have been able to use from that business development perspective that's maybe helped you guys grow.
We have our personal brands.
Mhm.
So we try to, in terms of kind of marketing or something like that, we're just sharing what we do on a daily basis and what we like. Our co-founder, for example, he has its own newsletter. It's called News from Woods, where
Mhm.
he, every month he gather a lot of news from technological world and everything around it. But
Yeah.
we're like, it's about word of mouth,
Yeah.
that our customers are sending good reviews, and from our point, it's like talking about what we like and what we do.
Yeah, and I mean that is the backbone of the business, right? Obviously, word of
Yeah,
mouth. Are you guys doing a good job? Or people referring you
yeah,
to what it is that that you can help with?
yeah.
And there's that element of relationship, right, that's needed with establishing those people that you work with and getting referred to those different projects.
Yeah.
Rob, I would love to talk a little bit about your mindset, man, because
Hmm.
I think a lot of people, they view disability with a negative light, right? And they
Hmm.
think that, there's all this negative baggage that is associated with it. But and I've always thought very similar to you, where and even like with good sailors, that there is always the other side of it as well, where not a disability can actually be your superpower, right? And I love that statement. But I would love to just have you talk through kind of your mindset around, what's helped you, not only build a career, hence, despite having a disability, but also flourishing and like,
Hmm.
actually, building something that's like most people can't even do, even if they don't have a disability, right? So like, what is it that maybe you've been able to do and tell yourself as you're doing these tasks? Hope
Hmm.
that makes sense in terms of how it
Yeah,
affects you.
definitely.
Yeah.
I guess I called it. For me personally, it's like, if if you if you want enough
Mm,
or not. It's like black and white for me. Like I think the only thing in my life, it's black and white, but this is it. You just want to do something and create something or not, because you know I I could stay on my invalid pension, because when I
hmm.
turned 18, I started to get this invalid pension from state,
Yeah.
and it could stay like this, But I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not like, old or something like that to stay on a pension and do nothing. So yeah, I was really curious, and yeah, like black and white, you just want to do something or not, so
Yeah.
it's a game.
Yeah. And it's really that simple, right? When you break it down, it's
Yeah.
not anything more complex. I think people try to, complicate it, but it really comes
Yeah.
down to black and white. Like you said, are you going to do the things that you say you want to do and actually go and chase them? And no matter what, you're able
Yeah.
to, you're going to be able to strive forward towards that. And it's the sense
Hmm.
of fulfillment that comes with that, right?
Hmm.
Because, even I can relate with, not wanting to just sit around and do nothing, right?
Yeah.
There's that drive that we all have to
Hmm.
continue to chase, to continue to do, something extraordinary in that sense. So I can appreciate it, and it's a big inspiration as
Yeah.
well.
Thank you.
And I'm curious, as you're working with good sailors, like what's the vision for you guys? Like what are you guys looking to do, within the next 12 months and beyond? Like what does that
Hmm.
look like?
Yeah, we would like to help with our special talented people to as much companies as possible, but also we would like to hire people like us, like me here. So we'd like to create a lot of job opportunities, because those people usually stay like. Maybe they don't see so much possibilities, or so many possibilities how to create something or how to involve in some interesting projects. So this is the two things that we would like to do here in America, to show people that they can use their otherness and disability into creating something great. And it's various, and depends on how disabled or what is your otherness, and we can show you, maybe we've been through it, and we can
Hmm.
show you what you can do with it. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff on the horizon for you guys, my friend. Hey, Rob, it's been a pleasure getting the chance to hear a little bit more about what you guys are doing and the mission that you guys are building. Definitely sounds like something special, and you have a true fan over here at Grow IT in
Oh,
terms of what you guys are doing. I
thank
always love
you.
to end with a more of a loaded question towards the end over
Mm-hmm.
here. But
Mm-hmm.
what would you say? You've obviously done a couple different things. You had your own company. Now you're in this new journey with good sailors. What are some of the most important things that you've learned, throughout your career that you'd be
Mhm.
willing to share with the audience that served you well?
Wow, that's really great and deep question.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I have to admit that until last year, I had my kind of ego with me because all the time I was trying to do my career without pointing to my disability. I
Mm,
was like, okay, I can do this, as a average people. And I was like, don't point, on something like this. I hate it. For example, motivational speeches and so on and so on. I didn't want to
yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But last year, I was able to present our company in New York on Manhattan. So I was like, oh, it's maybe something that now it's a tipping point that I can allow myself to incorporate my disability into my work. So maybe I would say, don't be afraid, be you, from the
Mm.
beginning, and just to see what you can do with it. So I could say this.
I love it, man. Don't be you, man. Right? Be
Yeah,
you. I
just be
love
you.
that. Yeah. Yeah. And that authentic, and I think being authentic and being who you are is what attracts people to you, right? Ultimately, and that's what you can feel and radiate off of someone is the genuineness from it. I love that. Hey, Rob, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. Getting the chance to hear your story and hear what you guys are doing. If people are listening to this, they want to reach out to you or someone from your team. What are the best
Mhm.
ways to go ahead and find you guys?
For example, LinkedIn or goodsailors.com. We all have our profiles there, so you can start from there, and along the way you can see what we do, why we do it, and so on and so on. So this is the thing, I
Perfect.
guess. Mm.
I will go ahead and include those links in the description for the team, for people to go and check out. If you guys did
Awesome.
make it all the way to the end, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and go check out Rob and Good Sailors. They are Grow IT endorsed over here, and we do recommend them. So we hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thanks again, Rob. It's been an absolute pleasure, my friend.
Thank you. My pleasure. Bye bye.